going on, young One Piece world? It's your boy Soge Kami, and I'm here again talking about One Piece chapter 1126. This chapter is called Taking Responsibility, and it is officially the first chapter of the Elbaf arc. And who knows, this might not even be the Elbaf arc. Right now, as we can see with this chapter, the Straw Hats have split up into two groups. But let's just start from the top. First thing we learn about this chapter is Dory and Broggy. They have temporarily halted their fight so that they can go get new weapons. Now, to me, from their original fight years and years ago in the Little Garden arc, they said that the Sun God will decide a winner. And since now they're calling Luffy the Sun God, it now is clear to me that they went to pick up Luffy so that Luffy himself could decide a winner, and then that way they can give Luffy some lore drops about the Sun God Nika. And we're going to learn a lot more about this Devil Fruit, this power, and what it all means in this arc. And I just love the way that they set it up, like this conflict is still ongoing, so that there is something to set up. But there's not much here. We learn a little bit about this green fairy, which is Absinthe, and that's gonna make the crew hallucinate a bit, and that was super important towards the end of this chapter. Now next we have a moment with Shanks, and they're doing some characterization with Shanks where they are basically saying Shanks is he's serious about the way what his crew represents to people and his strength, and he can't just have Bartolomeo burning down his flags. So he tests Bartolomeo ends up passing the test as flying colors because he proves to Shanks that he has full faith in Luffy and he's apologetic. But the part that I want to get into is after Shanks lets Bartolomeo escape, Yassopp one hits the ship of Bartolomeo, and that is, if anything, the most gas Usopp can get in this entire arc. In the entire series, this feat is better than a lot of things. I didn't even know it was possible, and this isn't an anime feat, which is crazy to me. This is a manga feat, and the anime is known to be excessive with this kind of things. But from one person being able to destroy a whole ship, even if what had happened was Yassopp used Haki to pinpoint exactly where the gunpowder or something is on the ship, that is still an amazing feat to me. That's something that Usopp is capable of, and this further meeting of Usopp and Yassopp can only make Usopp stronger in my mind. Yassopp has to do something to show Usopp the way, because Usopp in a certain light is a little lost right now. He needs some help. The one thing that this makes me think of though is, will Yassopp like Usopp when they meet? Because I feel like although Yassopp was a little cowardly when he was thinking about meeting Usopp, so maybe Yassopp does have that side to him, or will Yassopp just be a little unimpressed by Usopp? So I am curious as to how that meeting will go, but I need Yassopp to at least teach Usopp something. Leave Usopp with something to aspire towards. Show him a more powerful way. Like, if Usopp has a certain... We learned this in Film Red. Usopp and Yassopp was waiting for Usopp to tap into his own Haki so that they could connect. I wonder if that will be kind of like something that Yassopp will help Usopp with. The control of that observation Haki. I can see that being a thing, because Usopp hasn't been able to really show us that in any arc since Dressrosa. So that is something that I'm looking forward to from that character. I know that Yassopp is just a lot stronger than Usopp right now. Yassopp, that was just a crazy thing to do, even if that wasn't just raw power in general. But that was just a crazy thing to do. And even the swagger of it, that's like, yo, Captain, move out the way for a second. Yeah, he just took care of it. I love that. There was a moment before this, we got to see one of the sweetest moments, and I feel like it's the top of like the Egghead arc, where we got to see Bonnie and Kuma got to hang out outside, and I thought that was so sweet, just because of everything they had been through to get to that moment, and I was previously about a Bonnie for Straw Hat person, but I don't see that happening anymore because Kuma seemingly is able to live. Now I'm just hoping that Vegapunk Lilith is able to do something to get Kuma back to his, former width and height. You know what I mean? Get him to stop being a monster by mistake. We have Blackbeard. He took up a large amount of this chapter, and it is surprising that Blackbeard and Shanks and Luffy all played such an important role in this chapter. Well, not really Luffy, but we got to see stuff from all the four Yonkos, and we didn't get to see anything from Buggy. But we got a lot of Blackbeard, and we got a lot of like this dynamic, and it seemed like kind of opposite of how they treat Luffy. Blackbeard kind of treats Pizarro like he just grabbing him and like pulling on his face, and Pizarro just takes it. Like I didn't imagine a dynamic like that, but Pizarro just is taking all of his beatings. Maybe it's because his devil fruit power just makes him so big that he's just an easy target. But Pizarro's taking all of that. Blackbeard was a little unimpressed, but he's mad because they lost Moria, and I think that them mentioning it in this chapter could be a way of them setting up Moira finally making an on-screen appearance, because he's been just talked about so much and so much. I feel like he's going to look different, not even just outfit-wise, maybe just demeanor-wise. I want to see him closer to his flashback look, because he looked pretty cool, like vampire-y. And I feel like we're going to see Moira pretty soon, maybe joining in with Buggy. I think that could be possible just because of like the Perona Mihawk connection, and then the Moria connection. She can be like the bond, the bridge between those two groups. And I'm really looking forward to that, if that does happen. I feel like a lot of people do expect that to happen, so that is the obvious thing, but maybe Moria has a plan of his own. I don't know. I do think that in terms of just Blackbeard and his plan, he lost Kobe, but he got Garp, and he also has Pudding, which I don't know how those two are connected. And now he just got what's the swamp guy? His name, I can't remember his name right now, but he's kind of having all these pieces put together, and it's going to be curious as to what happens next, because with Garp, it seems like, I don't know if he's going to be a trading chip, if he could trade somebody from Impel Down for Garp, or if he's going to use giving Garp back for this world government status. But he's also was on screen talking with the top hat guy, Lafitte, and Lafitte ends up telling him about how the Revolutionary Army is stopping all the food. And at the end of Egghead, we were just getting so many chapters of the Celestial Dragons talking about not getting food, and this whole thing. So if Blackbeard strikes up a deal and says, hey, we will get you some food, we will stop the Revolutionary Army from blocking your food supply, but you have to make us a piece of the world government, he won't even have to trade Garp for that. So he would still have that bargaining chip. So Blackbeard does have options. So it's about what he's going to do with those options that's really surprising me, because he doesn't really even have to give Garp back. And considering that Kobe knows what happens to Garp, it'd be almost impossible for them to make a deal without having to give Garp back. So I am curious as to what exactly is going to be the plan with Garp moving forward. And like this plan, maybe Blackbeard helps the Revolutionary Army, or maybe Blackbeard captures somebody in hopes of getting closer to the Revolutionary Army. Or maybe this could be like Garp could be a bargaining chip to give to the Revolutionary Army, and it would be Dragon who has Garp tied up to use against the Marines. But the only issue with that is Garp is a Marine, and the Revolutionary Army said by Kobe, their issues are actually with the world government. So it wouldn't really work out that way, I think. But I think that, you know, Blackbeard has a lot of options, and he's gonna definitely use the option that suits him best. In terms of like the way that Garp worked in, or Blackbeard worked in Marineford, he didn't really pick a side. He was on his own side the whole time, and he just kind of orchestrated the whole thing. So I think that it could be possible that as Garp kind of Blackbeard drops Garp off somewhere in the middle between the Revolutionaries and the Marines, and then he comes back and he picks up the scraps. So we just have to wait and see as to what happens with that. And then the chapter ends with Nami, basically half the Straw Hat crew notices that the crew that was on the Thousand Sunny is missing, and Nami wakes up in some type of dream world. Now, she does say maybe she had too much to drink, so she could be hallucinating this stuff, but I can't imagine that she's like, I don't know, it's just weird, because like, is Nami hallucinating? That means she's not really there, or did everybody already hallucinate and kind of forget what happened and ended up there, you know? But we only see Nami, and she's in some crazy gear right now, so it seems like we will see some new geared people. And in the last couple of arcs in Dressrosa, Nami wasn't there. Whole Cake Island, we got to see Nami and Luffy, and then in oh my gosh, in Wano we saw Nami and Usopp. So I'm probably gonna guess it's gonna be Nami and Zoro, because there was no Nami-chan, and I think that Chopper wouldn't just say, "Hey, Nami." I think Nami maybe would say, or Chopper might say a little bit more. So I want to assume it's Zoro, but I don't know. Zoro, I don't know. It could be anyone. It could be Luffy. Hopefully they're all together and they're not split up even further than this split up. But we will wait and see. But yes, I really enjoyed this chapter. Let me know what you guys think. Like, subscribe. Let me know you're alive in the comment section down below. This has been Sogekami, and I am super excited for 1127. I want to just hopefully get into this arc, get this ball rolling, and then we can maybe just get a little teensy bit of cross-guild stuff, because that is the stuff I'm waiting for, and I really, really hope that we should see something from Mihawk sometime soon. Alright, this has been Sogekami, and I'm out.